Hello everybody and welcome to Not a Casted Game. Today we're doing the official announcement on YouTube to talk about the Underworld Showdown 1, the newest AOM tournament in the space hosted by Jay and myself. Jay, go ahead and say what's up.
Yeah, guys, welcome to the channel again. We are super excited to be here with everybody to announce the Underworld Showdown. And before we get into it, I just want to say thank you for all the love and support we've gotten to this stage, and the excitement that's coming behind this announcement is immense. We're really looking forward to showing you what we have in store for October 20th and the future.
Yeah, so on this video, we wanted to put this out there to make sure people who are subscribed to the YouTube get to see that this event is happening. We did post on Reddit and Discord as well, but we want to make sure we get something out there specifically for our YouTube subscribers, because really that's our largest following at this point, is the YouTube channel itself, so we wanted to make sure we're posting out there. So I'm just going to go through our rule book and schedule and everything there is to know about the interview. I think this video will probably be 15-20 minutes, something like that, and then we'll go take a look at the Reddit thread, and I'll just talk about some of the questions that were on there. We can answer those on this call. So let's start at the very beginning, the Underworld Showdown. And we have the most amazing logo. Jay and I put a ton of time in this, typing in prompts to ChatGPT to get this logo out here, so I hope everyone enjoys it. We do have a graphics designer who just joined the team, but we figured for this tournament, we'll just do the nice, quick, and easy way, get a couple graphics from ChatGPT. So we'll make our own graphics in the future, but we're much more concerned about the logistics and the quality of the tournament itself at this point. So just enjoy whatever our friendly AI friend has given us, and make sure to keep saying your please and thank yous when talking to ChatGPT, so when it inevitably takes over the world, it knows that you're one of the good ones. So thank you, ChatGPT. All right, so the Underworld Showdown 1 tournament rulebook we're going to go through. So this is an 8-player tournament. We have 7 of the 8 players confirmed. There's a slight change from the Reddit post, but we'll talk about that at the end. And we have 1 more position that we are filling. The tournament will be a single elimination bracket, with every match in the tournament being a best of 3, with the exception of the finals being a best of 5. We do have a very specific draft for each best of 3 that's a little bit different from other tournaments, but mostly aligns with what you expect for other tournaments. But we do want to talk about the draft, because it does feel like something that isn't really talked about too much on other tournament broadcasts. We really want to lean into the draft perspective. But that's essentially the format. We got quarterfinals, 4 matches, semifinals, 2 matches. We are going to have a 3rd place match because there is a prize pool affiliated with it, and then we have our best of 5 finals. So pretty straightforward for the overall bracket stage, what it looks like. The only thing that people are probably curious about is what are the draft rules. So I'm just going to go straight to that. Best of 3 draft rules. So how we're going to handle this is that we will be tossing a virtual coin between the 2 participants, and that will determine who gets to decide which action they make first in the draft. There are 2 options. They can either decide to pick first in the primary god draft, or they can pick the first map that the best of 3/best of 5 will be played on. So basically what that means, we toss the coin, the player that wins gets to decide. They either pick their order in the snake draft, or they get to pick the map that the first game is played on. So snake draft is how we're handling the major god selections, and basically what that means is the first player picks, then the second player gets 2 choices, then the first player gets 2 choices, then the second player gets 2 choices, back and forth. And for our best of 3s, each player will be drafting 5 primary gods into their pool. So that way, in the best of 3, each player will pick at most 3 out of the 5 gods that they have drafted. And you cannot repeat gods throughout the event. Well, throughout that stage of the event. In the next round, you could repeat the gods you played previously, obviously, or you'd run out of gods. But for the individual best of 3s, each god can only be selected once. There will be no mirror matchups inside of the god pool, and that's about it for the major god draft. We're planning on doing these offline before each match, but we are considering making the draft for the actual finals something that happens in real time so that people can see what the players are thinking. But there are some logistics there that we have to figure out still, so just stay tuned on that for whether the drafts will be done ahead of time or if we'll have any of them done in real time. The only difference for the best of 5 draft, if we get to a game 5 in the finals, all primary gods will be available for selection from both players. meaning that we can have a mirror matchup and we can have repeat gods. But personally, I think this is incredibly hype. Jay and I are both old League of Legends fans back in the OGN LCK days, I guess pre-LCK days, back in the OGN days, where Game 5 for League of Legends matches would be a blind pick draft, where there's no bans, no pick order, people can play whatever they want, and I really like that, having the Game 5 just be everyone gets to play what they are best at. Even if it's a mirror matchup, I think a mirror matchup even further solidifies who the best player is. So, Jay, any thoughts, comments on this?
Yeah, we're excited. The OGN style pick and ban on the 5th game for the final is very exciting. We wanted to, if we get to Game 5 in the final, we want it to be maximum entertainment. So that's the reason we decided to choose that. Keep in mind, there will be a map ban from the selected pool, which we will go over in this video. So each player will get a chance to ban one map from the pool as well during this draft. It's a little bit different than other tournaments in the space, but we think this is going to maximize both entertainment value as well as player comfortability. So yep. I'm very excited about the way we're handling this.
Agreed. And for map picks, that first map, it depends on the player that wins the coin toss. If they elect to pick the first map, then the other player gets to pick their order in the draft. I expect most players will probably elect to pick the first map. But from there, the loser of the previous match gets to pick the next map that is played upon. So that's, our way of trying to give a little bit of a loser's advantage in the best of 3, help promote game 3s to occur. That's basically how a lot of different esports do this. Like League of Legends specifically does that. Loser gets to pick side selection next. Usually it's the higher seed that gets to pick first. But here we're doing a coin toss because all of these players are elite, and seeding is honestly quite tough when every single player is in the top 50 on the ladder.
Yeah, and just one little note too is this is kind of how a lot of old school AOM tournaments on Voobly used to handle it too, where each player gets like a home map per se is what they call it. So whoever wins the first map, the loser will pick their second home map as the map selection. So each player is going to play on their map of choice in the first 2 matches, and then game 3, we'll move in there. So it does give a little bit of credence to how tournaments were played back in the day.
Yep. Okay, I think I'm good on the draft rules. Let's go ahead and move along. Oh yeah, and the last thing just here, in the best of 5, 6 primary gods are drafted rather than 5, just opening up the pool a little bit because we could have, an extra 2 games there. All right, here's the big chunk. Competitive integrity. The first section is very straightforward. If a player is found to be cheating, bug abusing, stream sniping, engaging in harassment, or any sort of rule violation, they will be immediately eliminated from the tournament, and their opponent will advance to the next stage. The other piece here is we're giving players a minimum of 15 minutes from the completion of the previous match in order to get into the hosted lobby and get ready to go for their match to begin. We aren't going to be hosting the tournament in a very strict schedule format where each best of 3 takes exactly 1 hour. We're doing a 1-day event with a lot of different matches. I believe it was somewhere between 18 to 26, 27 possible matches. I'd have to recheck, but just based on the fact that we have best of 3, best of 5s, we could have a lot of matches. We're working across multiple different time zones, so we're starting early inside of US time zones so that our European players don't have to stay up too late towards the end of the event if they make it to the finals. So we do have some, restrictions here, just making sure people are joining their lobby on time to keep the stream going, keep the tournament going. The only caveat to that is that there is the possibility of technical issues that no one can solve. Network connectivity, internet can go down for any players, or for us, it can happen. So it's up to the players to alert us of any sort of technical issues they're having on their side. And from there, we'll see if we can adjust the order of the matches to accommodate the players. It's just one of those things. It's the unfortunate reality of online hosted events where things like this can happen. So that's our rule book for handling those situations. And then here's the big one, is desyncs. We really hope that there is not a desync in any of our matches, but anyone who's been playing AOM knows that there is the unfortunate reality that this can happen. So what Jay and I wanted to do is take any sort of interpretation or judgment calls out of what we do if a desync happens in the match. So we have typed out very specific and very strict rule sets for how we will treat a desync situation if it occurs, so there is not a judgment call to be made. Jay and I's hands are tied. The rules are the rules, and we will be following them. If a desync occurs, we will try first to reconnect to the game. That's the first option. Both players try and reconnect. AOM saves the file. Players will try and reconnect and will continue from the time of desync. That's probably what will happen if we have a desync. But if we encounter a situation where players are not able to reconnect to the game for whatever reason, we have another set of rules, and it's if the game time has not exceeded 8 minutes, the match will be restarted from the beginning on the same map with the same primary god selections. We understand that games can end in less than 8 minutes, but this seems like a reasonable place to put this because this is around the time of the game that we're getting, 2 or maybe 3 TCs, or we're getting heroic age for different gods where the game really starts to get involved, and we feel comfortable restarting the match if we have a desync prior to that 8-minute mark. Now, the really complicated one here, but we want to make this complicated and specific again so that we do not have to make a judgment call. The rules are the rules. If players cannot reconnect to the game and the match has exceeded 8 minutes, there will be 3 conditions that are checked to determine if an early winner is declared for that specific match. A player needs to meet 2 of these 3 conditions to be considered an early winner. And really what we're going for here is just if there's a very clear winner of the match, there's a desync, there does need to be a situation where that match does not restart from the beginning. This is to avoid the possibility of players forcing a desync. Again, I don't expect any of our players to do this, but it's a tournament. There's money on the line, so we want to have very strict rules here. So the 3 conditions, and we looked back at a lot of games to get these different levels, and they are hard to hit. Again, this is very much, if someone meets these metrics, they were the clear winner. If they have a score lead of 4,000 or higher, an economic lead of 2x, unless Ragnarok was previously cast. We have to put that caveat in there because that wildly changes both of these numbers. So an economic lead of 2x or a military lead of 5x or higher. If a player meets 2 of 3 of these conditions and a desync occurs beyond the 8-minute mark, that player is declared the victor of that match and they move on to the next match in the best of 3 or best of 5, or the best of 3 or best of 5 is completed with that winner. So again, we really, really hope this doesn't happen, but we felt that we did have to define some rule sets in case the awful, unfortunate thing does happen, that we have this defined ahead of time and we do not have to make a judgment call on the day. Jay, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, our primary goal is obviously we want the game to get back to be restored so we can play it out, but having a clear set of rules just to be able to say, hey, if it doesn't come back in an unfortunate case that we need to look at a different situation, these are the rules just to make it sure that the tournament can have a good pace of play and also just ensure some integrity with the games. So this is what we decided to do best, and we did do a lot of review on the Red Bull Lol as well as a number of other tournaments as well as this regular game to make sure these numbers were in line to say, hey, there is a clear favorite here. And I believe if I'm not mistaken, only 3 games would have qualified on desync at this point.
Three out of the 21 that I watched, 3 games at the end of the match would have fit this condition. And those 3 games, it was very clear there was a winner. So that's why we picked these numbers. We looked at past tournament games to get an idea of what thresholds make sense. And again, they are quite high. Most games don't have a 5x military lead. Most games don't have a 2x villager lead, but those are the metrics that make sense based on past games that we reviewed. Okay.
Indeed.
All right, so prize pool. Jay, go ahead. You want to talk through it?
Yeah, let's talk about prize pool. So this is a unique, a little bit of a difference compared to what we've seen in other AOM tournaments. Our prize pool has a guaranteed prize pool of $500. First place is going to win $350. Second place, $100, and third place will win $300.
Yeah, $300, $150, $50.
Right, $300, $150, and $50. And that's like the guaranteed prize pool. The way this differs is that any donations, subs, or income that's earned throughout the tournament during the day of the live stream is going to be promised directly into the pool. 50% of that will be added towards this tournament's prize pool, and 50% will be added to the next Ultimate Showdown tournament or Underworld Showdown tournament that we host. The ratio that we split the 300, the 150, and the 50 will be the same amount that your donations will contribute in.
And Jay, I'm hearing a bit of technical issues on your side. Let me go ahead and jump in. You cut out for a second there.
No.
I think you're back, actually. Go ahead.
Yeah, so all prizes are going to be paid out within 2 days, and we're going to use a format that's PayPal or anything that's applicable to any player's country. But this is where the player or the viewers actually get a great experience in which you are going to impact the prize pool directly. Anything that we make is going to be invested directly back into the scene for this tournament, and help the players achieve better prizes. So the viewers really get a good chance here to contribute as well.
Yeah, and just to touch on this, Jay and I both have full-time jobs. We both have careers. We're doing this really as a hobby just because we love this game. And we want to make clear that our intentions are not to try and make this a significant income source for either of us. We're planning on putting everything that is earned through these tournaments directly back into the tournaments. And if we can get to a point where our prize pools are self-sustaining, that's amazing, if we can get to that point. So we're fronting the prize pool for the first tournament, of course, and then any sort of earnings from the stream or from the YouTube or anything that we have out there today, we're putting those earnings directly into future prize pools because we really want to be able to try and get to a self-sustaining tournament system here where we can just, put in our own time to host events and everything, but the prize pools are coming from the community. That's the goal with this.
And just to take a second, I'll talk about Underworld Showdown as a goal. Our hopes is that we produce a good content and good tournament that players are engaged in and viewers enjoy. This is not just a one-off tournament. If we find that people really enjoy what we're putting out, our intention is to put a tournament out every month or two, possibly with larger casts, more people involved. We want to grow this out and be a grassroots movement in the AOM community. Because, we grew up with this game, we love this game, and we want to see people contribute back in and help advance this for the players and the viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's the prize pool, and then we just note any local laws that each players have, since we do have, actually, I believe we're going to have 8 different countries participating inside of this event, which is pretty cool. So any local laws corresponding to payment, we do need to follow those local laws with our payment, so just calling that out.
Perfect.
All right, media in interviews. This is something Jay and I, when we came in and said we want to host a tournament, this was really our focal point. We want to spotlight the players. That's our goal with these tournaments, is we want to make sure the players have a chance to have a platform for any viewers in the tournament to say what they want to say, to promote the content that they want to promote. And we are looking to do interviews for players, both winners and losers, from semifinals forward is the current plan. So for our semifinals, we will have interviews with the players capped at 5 minutes just to make sure we stay on schedule. These interviews will not solely be Jay and I that are asking questions. We currently have several people from both KeeN and JSS who are planning to be a part of not only the broadcast, but the interviews as well, to talk to their players or the other team's players, ask questions, and give the players just a chance to vocalize their thoughts to all the viewers. We want to make sure we give that platform. And the big thing here that if I was to give my personal goal with hosting tournaments, it's to effectively tell the storylines and effectively describe the players, their histories, their styles inside of our tournament. Where did they come from? What RTSs are they from? How does that inform their styles inside of AOM? How does it inform their strengths and weaknesses? Those are the type of things, those are the stories that I really want to be able to tell as part of this event. And without the players themselves, providing some of that input, you can't really effectively tell those stories. So that's the goal here, is we really want this to be a player-focused event. We want to spotlight the players. We want to make sure that they're the premier product, even more so than the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a unique flair, and you love to see the actual personality behind the player, be able to chat with them, and be able to, when you see the name The Mista, for example, and you see him have a wonderful match, you want to be able to put the voice to the player and hear their thoughts about what happened, as well as a little bit of background. So for us, it's important to be able to tell the story of the players that are participating in this tournament, and we're really excited about this part as well. A lot of that storytelling is going to be, very fun for us, but as well as the viewers. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to highlight, taking interviews is purely optional. It is up to the players if they want to do this or not. It is not a requirement to participate in the tournament. And that's why we're also extending both winner interviews and loser interviews. Me personally, I find the loser interviews much more interesting, usually. Hearing about what they think went wrong and where they're looking to improve their game going forward based on the fact that they lost a match. So I'm really excited to have those as well if we have players participate in those interviews.
Definitely. I'm very excited about this part. And like we said, there are going to be analysts that are going to be jumping in and out of the whole stream. So we'll have some special guests as well as some people who are planning to stay around for more segments throughout. So you'll see some very familiar names joining us throughout the broadcast.
Yep. And I guess the last thing to call out here we didn't talk about is that we are allowing players to stream their own games if they wish. I imagine they'll put some delays on their own stream if they're doing it, but we're not limiting the ability for players to promote their own content during this event. If they want to stream while they play, go for it. We love it. All we've asked of each of the players is that if they are going to end their stream because they are no longer in the tournament, that they just host or raid the primary stream to help get our viewership up. So that's what we're asking of the players.
Yeah, and while we haven't declared it or anything, the tournament is fair use. So for people who decide that they want to make montages, clips, or take any of the content after the tournament is completed and finished, they're more than welcome to do so. Just during the tournament, we're planning to have ourselves be the casts as well as have players having the option to do so if they so choose.
Absolutely. All right. So tournament schedule, this is still subject to change because, again, we're working across a lot of different time zones here. With players, we've got America's players, North and South, and then we also have across several different time zones in Europe, different players. So the current expected time for these matches to occur is for the quarterfinals from 2 to 6 p.m. UTC, the semifinals from 6 to 8 p.m. UTC, third place from 8 to 9, and finals from 9 to 11. That means if you're in a U.S. time zone, the first match is expected to kick off at 9 a.m. Central Time, is the expected kickoff time for the matches. And again, we are just going to play the matches on a rolling cycle. As one best of 3 completes, we'll have 15 minutes to get the next best of 3 started, so it won't line up perfectly like this. The finals may start an hour plus or minus from 9 o'clock UTC, depending on how the previous best of 3s played out. That's the challenge of games like RTS, where they can be anywhere from 6 to 40 minutes, and with the best of 3, you can have 2 to 3 matches. So we don't know exactly what the timeline's going to be towards the end of the event, but that's how we're planning on handling that. And the map pool.
Definitely.
Jay, you want to talk about the map pool?
Yes, so the map pool actually is a little bit unique. We decided to take the same map pool as Genesis, and we did that for 2 reasons. One, because there are some very exciting maps in there, some good hybrid ones too, which you don't see a lot of in, some casual play that you see in the ranked pool. But also because we wanted to give players a chance to prep for another tournament that's coming up the week after, to give them a little bit of ability to test some highly competitive matches against some of the world's best players on a map pool that they're going to be very familiar with over the next 3 to 4 weeks after the completion of the Underworld Showdown. So that's why we chose this map pool. Keep in mind, as a caveat again, each player is entitled to 1 ban from the pool during each series while they're playing, so we will see a good chunk of these maps, in my opinion, throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I'd almost be shocked if we don't get every single map with how many games we have. I expect every map will be played. And as far as the map ban as well, we didn't talk about it earlier, but that map ban is done asynchronously. That's a tough word, guys. So it is possible that both players ban the same map, basically. That's totally fine. If they both ban Mediterranean, then Mediterranean's banned, and then we have 9 available maps from there.
Or 10, but yes. I think we have 11.
Do we have 11? Oh, yeah, we have 11.
I think it's 11.
Yeah, so yeah. 10 available maps. Thank you. Okay, so that's the map pool. The final thing I put in here, it's not actually in the rule book, but I included it because we wanted to make sure that we show how you can help support us and support Underworld Showdown. So there's a couple different things here. Join the Discord, and I will post links to all of these in this video description, and I'm sure anyone who has watched my videos has seen most of these links already. But we have the Discord. We just created a new Twitch channel for the tournament. I have my own personal Twitch channel, but we wanted to separate that out into the actual tournament channel. So follow the Underworld Showdown Twitch. Don't subscribe to the channel yet. Save those subscriptions for the actual event because, again, those will go towards the prize pool, and we will be shouting out users that subscribe and donate throughout the event. So save that for the actual event itself. And then subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where all of the VODs will be posted after the event is on my YouTube channel. And then the last thing, donate and subscribe during the stream to increase the prize pool. We want to reward these players. These guys devote a ton of their time to being the absolute best inside of this game. And, this is one of the things in esports that is a challenge for every single esport right now, and every single tournament organizer, is that esports is very much a free-to-play system, or free-to-watch system. There's not really much pay-per-view inside of esports. So we really want to encourage the people who are consuming this content, who are enjoying the hard work and dedication that the players are putting in, to help contribute to tournaments like this, to keep those players players inside of the system. So I just wanted to call that out. We really want to support the players here. And again, everything that's coming in as earnings through this event is going directly into this prize pool and future prize pools.
And as a little caveat, we will have an indicator on stream whenever there is a donation or a subscription made. So we will give a personal thank you for contributing to the prize pool. And that way players know how much is actually being added in before the grand final as well, when we do the final tabulations, to let people know what's been contributed and how that money will be added into the first, second, and third place finishes. So we highly encourage it. Keep in mind, we're not taking any of this. This is all for the players.
Yep. And I know, Jay, you're even toying with the idea of a donation match or a certain, sub threshold match to put in additional prize pool. I don't know if you have specifics there, but I know you're playing with the idea.
Yeah, so I had actually come up with this idea to help not just grow our channel, but also to add in a little bit of value for the players. For every 100 subs that we get on the YouTube channel, just subscriptions, it doesn't cost you anything, just a sub to the channel. When you do that, for every 100, I will be adding in an additional $50 to the prize pool myself. This is uncapped, so if you end up giving 10,000 subs for whatever God knows reason, please don't do that. Actually, no, it'd be kind of nice. It'd be kind of nice. Then that money will be directly added in to the prize pool for the players. We want to grow this channel out, and again, it's because we want to host more events. We want more content around AOM to be put in. So just having a simple ability to just subscribe to the channel during the broadcast, when we start that, we're going to match that in and add into the prize pool. The players do this for the love of the game, but they also want to have careers as well built around this. So it's important for grassroots movements to, be a part of the scene, to contribute in and to help sustain the scene while these big events like Genesis or the Red Bull will have time between them. So we need independent guys like us, as well as others, to contribute and host events and really get the pros to be able to earn more money, as well as to put on events for the viewers. So let's grow AOM. As I always like to say, Age of Mythology is fun. It is fun.
And I'll just throw out here as well, each subscription and each donation, it helps me convince my wife that this is worthwhile for me to spend time on. So just gonna shout that out there. She's been very supportive. We put out some videos. We're only at like 20 something videos at this point, right, Jay? And up to over 300 subscribers on YouTube. She was very impressed when I told her. She's like, wow, I didn't expect you to get that far. And I was like, me neither, to be honest. So the support from the community, it's honestly been just incredible. You guys have been the best. The comments and support that we've had on our duo cast and other videos we've put out there, it's really just been amazing. And I hope the community knows that you're really making like Jay and I's dream come true here. This has been a decade-long dream of the two of us to either own a team or host events, host a tournament like this. It's really been a dream for both of us for a long time, and we're finally making it a reality. And we just quite literally could not be doing it without the community support. So thank you so much, everyone who's been a part of the community so far. It really means the world to us.
And one more thing, I know we've done it before, but I want to give a special shout out to KeeN.reGulate.
Yep.
You have been a great mentor and friend through this process to help us not only understand how we want to engage the scene, but also to help us put a little bit of ability to step a good faith forward to get some of these players to say, hey, this could be a cool event for you to join into too. So KeeN.reGulate, thank you again. Appreciate your help in this process.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the rule book. Really quick thing I wanted to do after this is just go through the Reddit thread. We got a couple of updates on participation, and then we had a couple of questions on the Reddit thread that I figured I would just answer in this video for everyone to see. But just a couple things to call out. The Rapple, no longer participating. He has a personal conflict, and we have gotten in HUSKSUPPE to fill that spot for the Rapple, so he is officially a participant inside of the tournament. I believe we've got what I would call like a 95% confirmation on him. Jay, would that be right? He said he's just got to double check, but he should be good to go for the tournament.
Yes, I just got confirmation that he is officially joining. So yes, he is committed into joining the tournament. We are continuing our trend of having JSS versus KeeN in the tournament, and he will be participating, which I'm super excited about. Another great player.
Awesome. And the other one I've added an asterisk to is RecoN. He let us know he does have a personal event quite close to the date of this tournament. He is still planning on participating, but he'd give us his final confirmation in the next couple of days, so just stay tuned on that. And then we do have the one additional spot. We have a particular player that we've been trying to get as that additional spot. We just don't have the confirmation yet, so we don't want to post it out there quite yet, but just stay tuned for that final spot in the tournament. And then inside of here, the Reddit post, I do have our links to the tournament page, to the Discord, and I just recently added the Twitch stream for Underworld Showdown. So please give that a follow. It has 0 followers right now, so Jay, you're lacking. You need to get that follow out there. But we literally created it 30 minutes ago, so please get it some follows so we can kind of get up on the top of at least the AOM category when this tournament happens. All right, and then I just wanted to address a couple of the questions here because we had a few questions that I think others would be interested in. One question was, will this be available to watch after the live cast? Yes, the current plan is to stream this on Twitch only, since we aren't sure about the total number of people that will actually be watching this event. We don't want to split the chat room between Twitch and YouTube. Basically, we want to keep everyone in one place to encourage community collaboration and chatting with each other just inside of one chat room. So we're planning on streaming this just on Twitch on that channel that I linked above here. But all of the VODs from the event will be posted on my YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe to that as well to get the VODs after the event if you cannot watch it live. The other question that I wanted to call out, because Jay and I have been talking about this a lot, is the chance for a clan 3v3 or team tournament. And I'm just going to tease this out there because I almost certainly want to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and reset this music because we got the big one popping up. But we have a really nice idea for a team tournament, a 2v2 tournament, and I'm going to tease it right now. We're planning on having a 2v2 tournament in the Underworld Showdown, where we lean into the theme of the Underworld Passage, and we have a map that completely separates teammates across an impassable barrier, and each team has an Underworld Passage at the start of the game, and the game ends the second that Underworld Passage is destroyed. That is the victory condition. Obviously, we would make it much tankier than the regular Underworld Passage, so just like Earthquake and Tornado don't one-shot it, but that's kind of what we're thinking for the 2v2 tournament, have a nice little twist on a typical 2v2 and leaning into the Underworld Showdown theme. Let us know your thoughts on that, but that's our current plan for getting team games out there in the future in a future tournament.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of unique events. 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, and some special ones like Matt just hinted at that we plan to do that have a little twist with what we like. So just, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more to come. This is just the first of many. And you know what? Let's shout out the question right above it. HUSKSUPPE in the Mr. Not playing. Oh, it looks like we got one of your 2 players that you were very interested in having.
We got one of them. Yep. Might have to comment on that one right after. But I think that's it, right, Jay? I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think we did. We're really excited about this tournament, guys, and we can't wait for you guys to take part. October 20th, we will be live streaming on Twitch. And we hope to see you there for the potential 10 plus hours of AOM that you were in store for.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Thanks again to everyone in the community for your support. It's been fantastic, and we will see you on the 20th.